I want to ask you something simple. What do you do on bad days? Not good days. Not the days when you wake up with energy and motivation and everything feels possible. The bad days. The days when you are tired, when something is wrong, when the last thing you want to do is the thing you promised yourself you would do. Most people stop on bad days. They tell themselves, I deserve a rest. I will come back tomorrow. One day off will not hurt. And sometimes that is true. Sometimes rest is exactly what you need, but sometimes the stopping is not rest. It is the beginning of a longer stop. One day becomes three, three becomes a week, the habit breaks, the momentum disappears, and coming back feels harder than it should. The people who build real habit in English, in fitness, in any skill know something important. Bad days are not days off from the habit. Bad days are the most important days to show up. Not perfectly, not powerfully, just show up in a smaller way for a shorter time with less energy and less focus and less everything, but show up. Today's story is about a young man named Amir. Amir ran every single day, rain or shine, tired or rested, happy or sad. And what that habit taught him about running and about life changed the way he approached everything. This is his story. Meet Amir. Amir was 25 years old. He worked at a small architecture firm as a junior assistant. He helped with drawings, measurements, and administrative tasks. He liked the work. He liked the precision of it. He liked being in a space where people built things. He had started running 1 year ago, not for any dramatic reason. A friend had invited him to join a morning run. He had gone once. He had not enjoyed it particularly. He was unfit and slow, and his lungs had complained loudly for 20 minutes. But he had gone again the next morning, alone this time. And the morning after that. He was not a natural runner. He was not fast. He had no ambition to race or compete or achieve any particular distance. He just ran every morning before work, a quiet 30 minutes through the streets near his apartment. After 3 months, it had become the most reliable part of his day. But then came the first real test, the first hard week. 3 months into his running habit, Amir had a very difficult week. His father became ill. Not seriously, a chest infection that needed rest and medication, but enough to worry the family and change the rhythm of the household. Amir spent his evenings at his parents' home, helping his mother, running to the pharmacy, sitting with his father. He came home late each night. He went to bed later than usual. Wednesday morning, the alarm rang at 6. He lay in bed. He was genuinely tired, not the ordinary tiredness of someone who wanted to stay warm. Real tiredness, the kind that sits in your eyes and your shoulders and does not lift easily. He thought, I should rest. My father is sick. I have been helping every evening. My body needs to recover. These were all true reasons. He lay there for another minute. Then he got up. He put on his running shoes. He went outside. He did not run his usual 30 minutes. He ran for 15. Slowly, more slowly than usual. There was no music, no pace tracking, no ambition. Just 15 quiet minutes in the early morning street. He came back, he showered, he went to his parents' home to check on his father before work. That evening, tired, sitting in his parents' living room, he felt something he had not expected, not pride, just a quiet, solid feeling. He had shown up on the hardest morning of the week for half his usual time, at half his usual pace, but he had shown up. Lesson 1. Half a run is still a run. After that week, Amir thought about what had happened. He had broken his run down to 15 minutes. He had gone slowly. He had done far less than his normal session. And yet, the habit had not broken. He had not missed a day. He had shown up on every morning of a week when he had every good reason not to. He thought about this carefully. Before this week, he had thought of showing up as an all or nothing thing. Either you do the full run or you do not really run. Either you give your best effort or it does not really count. But the week with his father had shown him something different. Half a run was still a run. 15 minutes still counted. Slow pace still counted. A run where nothing felt good and nothing was impressive still counted because what it did was keep the habit alive. The next Monday, his father was better. His sleep was back to normal. His energy had returned. He ran his full 30 minutes without any difficulty because the habit had never broken, because 15 minutes on the hard days had kept the door open. He wrote in his small notebook, half a run keeps the habit alive. Full runs are for good days. Half runs are for bad days. Both count equally. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. Half a run is still a run. Half counts just as much. On bad days, I do less, but I still show up. Keeping the habit alive matters more than perfect performance. The door stays open when I show up in a smaller way. Good days are for full effort. Bad days are for showing up. Both count equally. That is the rule. I do not need my best day every day. I just need to come. Lesson 2. Rain in the decision. Amir woke up at 6 and heard rain. Not light rain. Heavy rain. The kind that makes the street outside sound like a river and makes every sensible part of you say, stay inside. This is weather for staying inside. He looked at his running shoes by the door. He looked at the window. He thought about it for longer than usual. He had a waterproof jacket. It was not perfect. After 20 minutes, he would be damp. But it existed. He put it on. He went outside. The rain was cold. The streets were empty. Nobody else was out. Cars passed with their lights on in the gray morning. His shoes were wet within the first 5 minutes. He ran for 20 minutes, not his full 30. The rain was genuinely difficult, and he made a practical decision to cut it slightly short. He came back inside dripping. He stood in the corridor taking his wet shoes off and thought, that was unpleasant. And also, he had done it. He had not used the rain as a reason to stop. He had acknowledged it. Yes, this is difficult. Yes, this is wet and cold. And he had gone anyway. That afternoon, a colleague at the office mentioned the rain. Did you go running this morning? She asked, knowing his habit. Yes, he said. She looked at him like he was slightly unusual. In that rain? In that rain, he said. She shook her head. Why? He thought about it. Because I said I would, he said. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. Rain is a reason to dress differently, not a reason to stop. I said I would, so I do. That is the whole answer. Difficult conditions teach me more than comfortable ones. I acknowledge the difficulty and I go anyway. Nobody else was out. I was. That matters to me. I came back wet and I felt solid inside. Showing up in difficult conditions makes easy days feel simple. Lesson 3. What his friend asked. 6 months into his daily running habit, Amir met his friend Jad for coffee. Jad had also started running around the same time, but Jad had stopped after about 6 weeks. Life had gotten busy. He had missed a few days, and then stopping had felt easier than restarting. They talked about running. Jad asked Amir how it was still going. Every day, said Amir. Jad looked at him. Every single day? Even when you do not want to? Especially when I do not want to, said Amir. Jad was quiet for a moment. How? He said. It was a genuine question, not skeptical. Just how? How do you do a thing every day when some days you do not want to? Amir thought about how to explain it. I made the decision smaller, he said. I do not decide every morning whether to run. I already decided. The only question every morning is, how much? 30 minutes on good days, 15 on hard days, 20 in the rain. But the going, that was decided a long time ago. Jad looked at his coffee. I kept redeciding every morning, he said slowly, and some mornings the decision went the wrong way. Yes, said Amir. That is the problem with redeciding. You give the bad days a vote, and bad days vote no. Jad nodded slowly. So you take the vote away, he said. I take the vote away, said Amir. The only vote is how long, not whether. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. I do not redecide every morning. The only question is how much, not whether to go. Bad days vote no. So I take the vote away from them. Whether is decided. Only how much is open each morning. Removing the daily decision makes the habit unbreakable. I go. The only variable is the distance and the pace. This is how I show up every day. The decision lives outside the day. Lesson 4, 1 year, what the bad days built. 1 year after his first morning run, Amir sat in a small cafe near his apartment. He had just come back from his run, 30 minutes. A good morning, a clear sky, a comfortable pace. He opened his notebook, a habit he had picked up alongside running, a place to write small observations, and looked at the first page. 1 year ago, one line, went for a run, did not enjoy it much, going again tomorrow. He turned to the most recent pages. The entries were different now, longer, more specific, more confident. He wrote about what he had noticed during runs, about the neighborhood in different seasons, about the way his breathing had changed over a year, about the mornings when everything felt easy and the mornings when nothing did. He counted something, 365 mornings. Not all full runs. Some were 15 minutes. A few were even 10. One genuinely terrible week when he had been ill and had done a slow 10-minute walk run just to keep the thread. But 365 mornings. He thought about what 1 year of daily running had done to his body. He was fitter. He slept better. He had more energy during the day. These were real changes, visible from the inside. But he thought about something else too. Something the running had taught him that had nothing to do with running. He had learned that he was someone who showed up on good days, on bad days, in rain, when tired, when his father was sick, when motivation was absent, when everything said not today. He showed up, and knowledge, that quiet, solid, private knowledge, had changed how he approached everything else in his life. His English studying, his work, the things he said he would do, because now he knew. He was not someone who only moved when conditions were good. He was someone who moved regardless. Daily English sentences. Repeat after me. 365 mornings. Not one missed. Some were 10 minutes. Some were 30. All were real. I am someone who shows up. I know this now for certain. The running taught me something bigger than fitness. I move regardless of conditions. That is who I am now. 1 year of showing up on bad days built my real character. I carry this knowledge into everything I do. Final words. Show up anyway. Amir's story is simple. He ran every day, not because every day was good, not because every morning felt right, not because motivation was always there, because he had decided before the bad days arrived that showing up was not conditional. It did not depend on the weather or his energy or his mood or the problems in his life. It was just what he did. On good days, fully and powerfully. On bad days, smaller, slower, less, but still there, still moving, still keeping the habit alive through the difficult morning and into the easier one that always eventually came. Maybe you have a habit you are building, English practice, writing, exercise, something you have said you will do every day. And maybe you have had bad days where you did not show up, where the closed laptop or the missed session felt justified in the moment. I want to say one thing. Make the decision before the bad days arrive. Not whether you will show up, just how much. On good days, your full effort, everything you have. On bad days, something smaller. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. A quiet, smaller version of the thing you said you would do, but always something. Because the habit that survives bad days is the habit that lasts. And the habit that lasts is the one that changes you. Show up, even on the bad days, especially on the bad days. See you in the next one. Stay calm, stay consistent, and show up, even on the bad days.